So recently, not recently, it's been over 2 months now, but 2 months ago I went to the UK, and there were some things that I thought was really different. And in this video, I'd like to talk about the things that I found were different about the UK. Now, one of the first things I noticed is, and this was a bit of a shock when I actually landed, is when we were leaving Heathrow Airport, looking at the signs and seeing it say it's a 30 zone, I'm thinking,
Jesus.
30k an hour is really slow. Yeah, it's not 30k an hour. It's 30 miles per hour. I completely forgot that the UK use miles per hour. So that was really interesting, and I completely forgot that they actually do that. So that's something. And if we keep talking about cars and their roads, the indicator stalk being on the wrong side. I'm just used to it always being on the right hand side. Flick up if you want to go left, flick down if you want to turn right. You know? And then seeing it on the opposite side, where if I was driving in the UK, I'd be continuously accidentally turning on the windscreen wipers because the indicator stalk's on the wrong side, and I don't understand why. Put it on the correct side, you muppets. Another thing as well, which I noticed about cars and roads, if we stay on the topic of cars and roads, is the fact that the streets are a lot narrower. I didn't realise how narrow the streets were truly going to be. Like in Ballarat, the roads are huge. Well, the council are currently screwing them over and making the roads narrower and taking away car parks and turning lanes. So thank you, Ballarat City Council, for you and your infinite wisdom. Obviously as well, if we stick with the theme of roads and that, the street signs themselves, they are different. They're a lot bigger compared to Australia's, where it's just like the little strip, I guess you could call it. Whereas in the UK, they're like the big signs that they have. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. I've lost my train of thought. In the UK as well, obviously, another thing that sort of took me by surprise is obviously the UK have a lot older buildings and a lot more history than what Australia does. I mean, obviously the UK is a very old country. And just, it was weird, like in Australia, probably the oldest buildings that you're going to get are 1800s, whereas these buildings, you're walking down 1400 buildings, and just, yeah, it was really cool just to see like how interesting it is, and obviously the history of the UK. And obviously in saying that, with having older buildings, is obviously they've got like castles and also the monarchy. And it was really fascinating, like seeing Colchester Castle, which was built in the 1000s, and the Tower of London, and seeing the crown jewels, which unfortunately you're not allowed to take photos of. Don't know why, but apparently you just can't, so I'm not going to argue there. But yeah, seeing Colchester Castle, Tower of London, Buckingham Palace even, that was really cool as well. And Windsor Castle as well. Can't forget Windsor. When I went to Windsor, they were closed. They weren't open. So anyway, is what it is, who cares? Now, one thing that Australia, I will say, has better than the UK are the beaches. The beaches in the UK kind of look a little sad, a little miserable, whereas Australia, you got like Torquay and you have Bells Beach and Bondi Beach. Even though I've never been to Bondi Beach. You know, Australia's got nice things, which the UK somewhat don't have, I suppose. Another thing that, and I got really lost in London when I did this, London is a maze. I thought I was heading west, turns out I was heading north. One thing that I like about Melbourne, which I know a lot of people don't like about Melbourne, which I don't understand, but I like how Melbourne's got that grid sort of format. Whereas with London, it's all just, there's no grid, it's just all fucking how you going. Another thing that I find different, and something that Australia definitely has over the UK, is the coffee. The coffee in the UK is pretty average, and every time I said I want a coffee instead of a tea, I almost got shot down. I almost got shot where I stood. Because I don't like tea. I'm not a big tea drinker. I'm more of a coffee drinker. I love my coffee. And every time we went to a coffee house, cafe, I'd go, can I get my coffee with sugars in it? And they'd be like, you put the sugar in yourself. What? No, put the sugar in for me. I'm a lazy fuck. I'm from Australia. We're all lazy fucks. I even got booed at London Dungeons. I was a dirty prisoner, so they booed me. They were like, boo, boo this man. He's from Australia. Boo him now. I also went to Madame Tussauds, which that was fantastic. I loved Madame Tussauds. And I'm just gonna put it out and say it. The Wax Museum in Gold Coast fucking sucks compared to Madame Tussauds. Madame Tussauds was pretty damn good. And I don't know whether it's just the climate and the wax melts in the Gold Coast one and it just isn't great. Well, Madame Tussauds, the Wax Museum in London, is so much better than Australia's. Now this is the one that sort of annoys me the most, probably more than what it should, is the showers, or bathrooms in general, I really should say. Why is it that the light to the bathroom is outside the bathroom, not in the bathroom itself? And the showers, why is it a box on the wall? Why can't it just be a handle? You pull the handle, the water comes down, and if you want to adjust the temperature, whether you just twist the knob on the handle or if you've got one of those twisty bastards, I don't know what they're called, you just lift that and just adjust it from there. Why is it that you have a box on the wall with a little dial to change? No. And as well, they really like to squeegee or have their bathroom squeegeed. Why? I don't know. The showers over there were bizarre. The bathrooms in general having like a pull light switch that you pull to turn the light on, or if it was like a light switch outside the bathroom. That was just bizarre. That's some things that I've noticed that were different between Australia and the UK. Or like a little culture shock when I got there and just went, huh, that's different, that's odd. There were a lot of Vauxhalls or Holdens over there. They're Holdens, they're not Vauxhalls. There's probably more that I haven't talked about or haven't touched on because I just haven't thought of it. But if you can think of anything, or if I can think of anything, or if you do want a part 2, let me know. But otherwise, yeah. Thank you for watching.